It started quiet, just a light tapping of rain on rooftops in Sichuan, China. But within hours, that gentle rain turned into a monster. For 14 relentless hours, the sky opened up, pouring rain with no mercy. Rivers swelled. A dam, built decades ago to protect the region, finally cracked under pressure. The breach was devastating. Floodwaters tore through villages like an unstoppable wave. Homes were swallowed. Roads disappeared. Memories washed away. Over 6,000 people had to flee. What they couldn't carry was left behind, floating in muddy brown water. Nearby, in the mountainous region of Jiaodong, things got worse. Another 7,000 residents ran as landslides buried roads and rivers carved new paths. Whole hillsides gave way. Fields were buried. The earth smelled of rain and fear. Neighbors carried the elderly on their backs. Children clung to their parents, wide-eyed, speechless. These weren't just floods. They were a warning from nature, from the climate, from the future. Farther west, up in the thin air of Tibet, the disaster looked different, but it hit just as hard. The mighty Yarlung River overflowed with a force that felt personal. Villages perched on steep cliffs never stood a chance. 300 people ran for their lives, climbing over rocks, racing the rising river. Homes passed down through generations were gone in minutes, swept away like paper. The mountains, once protectors, stood still and silent.
因为造成了这种比较大的破坏。现在的极端天气啊，真的是太多。现在的人们也不知道怎样去应急或者是应对这种极端天气。
Back in Beijing, the government tracked the damage. The numbers were brutal, over $76 billion in losses, and the year wasn't even over yet. More than 200 million hectares of farmland were destroyed. Roads vanished. Entire towns were cut off. The human cost? 307 lives, either lost or missing. Behind every number, a name, a family, a future gone. In Sichuan, rescue teams waded through chest-deep water, pulling families out of collapsing homes. And in Su, landslides buried roads and trapped entire villages. In the northeast, Liaoning faced its own nightmare. Rivers broke their banks, turning towns into islands, surrounded by rushing water. Thousands were rescued, some lifted off rooftops, others airlifted from muddy slopes. They survived. But what now? This wasn't just about one storm, or even one country. Climate scientists had been warning us for years. Now, the alarm bells were deafening. Asia, they said, is heating up twice as fast as the global average. And with hotter air comes heavier, wilder rain. Floods that once happened once a decade, now they come every year. And each time, they hit harder. In Beijing, the central government responded fast. Billions in aid were sent to the hardest-hit provinces. Engineers rebuilt damaged dams. Trucks delivered food, medicine, and clean water. In the fields, teams handed out seeds and tools, helping farmers start over.
一个饼的，一个饼一个饼。
你相信这里是大美高频吗？对，这里就是大美高频正在进行的雨。
撒更大的雨了，我靠！
记住这辆车此时此刻的优人。
This wasn't just China's storm. It was a signal, a message from a planet under pressure. From South Asia's monsoons to Atlantic hurricanes, nature is no longer predictable. And it's no longer gentle. In China, the floods changed lives overnight. Homes were lost, communities were torn apart. But this wasn't just a story of destruction. It was also one of strength. In Sichuan, farmers walked back into the mud. They picked up broken tools, salvaged what seeds they could, and started again. In Jiaodong, neighbors came together, brick by brick, rebuilding homes by hand. In Tibet, villagers sang while clearing debris, turning survival into solidarity. Across valleys and rivers, one thing was clear: people refused to be defined by what they lost. With blistered hands and tired hearts, they chose to rebuild. Not just homes, but a future. The rains will come again, they always do. But so will the people. They'll rise with the floodwaters if they have to. Because even in the mud, hope takes root. This isn't just a Chinese story. It's our global reality. And the only way forward is together.
Cara, lá também tem que sair. Na corda, o cara não deu na corda.
If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let's raise awareness before the next storm hits. This has been a DisasterScope production. See you next time.